Hello, everybody. Greetings. June Allen here, your racial sobriety mentor. It's me in the plantain. There she is. I have news. I'm so excited. Family, after 4 years, of faffing about, not knowing what to do, whether to go back to college or not, this week I have officially signed up and I am a psychotherapy student again. So I am super, 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 super excited about that, to be continuing my journey as a therapist. I'm just beyond excited. I start the course in, when do I start? 2 weeks time. It's a part-time course, and yeah, I was just felt led to go back and yeah, just to go and visit some colleges and just see what they were offering, and all the rest of it. And hi, thanks for joining. I'm just super excited because at the beginning of the week, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I want to go to this college. I don't know if I want to go back. All the stuff that I'm going to have to kind of deal with and all that. I was just like, oh, I don't know if I want to do it. But it felt like the right thing to do. And so I've got a place. So I am super, super excited to be starting my college course, or starting off where, continuing where I left off. Um, and I'm just looking forward to completing the course. I know that I'm good at this. When I did my foundation course 5 years ago, it was 4 years ago, I passed with distinction. So I know that I'm good at this, and I've continued to share my journey, even though when I decided that I couldn't go back at the time because the fees were like double. But I just kept sharing. I kept reading. I kept showing up at the student, psychotherapy groups and all the rest of it, because I was determined that I still wanted to keep one foot in the game, even though I wasn't, officially studying or whatever. So it just feels really, really good to be back in the game. It feels really, really good to be taking these steps now to kind of deepen my learning. And yeah, I'm going to a different college this time as well, because the college that I've chosen is a lot more mixed, it's a lot more diverse. So it's going to be nice, knowing that I'm just not going to be the only black person in my class, So I feel really, really super excited about that. So yeah, I wanted to say thank you to everybody who supported me on this journey, and for those who continue to support me on this journey. For those of you that have given me some, really great feedback about, the value that I've added to your lives, and that's not going to stop. I'm going to be going to college, but I'm still going to be sharing the journey with you all, right up until I pass. Right up until I pass and finish the course, I'm going to continue. I want you to be part of that. I'm going to be sharing all of the insights and the journeys and the struggles and the trials and the tribulations, all of that stuff. I'm going to be sharing all of it so that you really understand, number one, the stuff that I have to go through, that, I'm still not perfect. I'm still a work in progress. I'm still learning, I'm still healing, I'm still growing and doing all of that stuff. And also, as I continue to learn, from an academic perspective, I'm still going to continue to translate all of the stuff that I learn into how it can be applied to us as black people, to be able to deal with the struggle of what it means to live under the system of racism. I'm going to continue to do that because that's my passion. That's, it's personal, and it's also a community thing. So I just wanted to share that with you. Because it's important for me to kind of just to be able to share what's happening. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. And yeah, so the course starts on the 12th of September, and I've got to start ordering all my books and everything. And yeah, so I'm just really excited. I'm really excited about being able to write. I'm going to be doing a lot more writing, obviously, and I'll be sharing all of that stuff. So I just feel really good about that. So yeah, so watch this space for all the stuff that I'm going to be sharing around it. And I'm going to continue to be doing the book club. The book club has been an amazing space for the ladies that have been doing it. We've had some great topics, and the book is going to be finished in a couple of months. We've nearly been through the whole book, but I've met some amazing women who work really hard, who's working so hard to empower themselves and to stand in their truth. And that's been really great to see. Actually, it's been really humbling, and I just feel so honored and so blessed that that so many of these women have allowed me to be part of their healing journey. And that's been a really important part, because that's what this is about. This is not about me. This has never been about me. This is about me sharing my journey so that I can empower other people to do the same. It's about telling the truth. It's about really speaking the truth about what healing really means. It's about telling the truth about the impact of racism and how that's impacted the way that we parent our children, the way that we love, the way that we show up in the workspace, all of that kind of stuff. It's going to continue. It's going to continue. And I feel super, super excited about, how things are going to evolve and change over the next few months. I've always continued to learn and all of that kind of stuff anyway. But in terms of doing this course, is really going to elevate things even more. So I'm really, really excited about that. If anybody's watching me for the first time who doesn't really know what I do, I basically, I teach Black women how to heal from the impact of racism with racial sobriety and revolutionary self-love. I've been in recovery from addiction to self-hate, a compulsion to abandon myself, to hate myself, for almost, how long has it been? Since 2009. So it's like, it's 8 and 9 years. It's a long time. It's a long time. And through my process of healing, through going through 12-step recovery, through what I've learned before, doing the study and to be a therapist when I did the foundation course, the books that I've read, all of that kind of stuff, I've been able to create a space for Black women, Black people, to be able to really look at not just the external stuff around racism and understanding white supremacy as a system, but also to understand the impact that it has on our lives, because ultimately that's how things are going to change. They're not going to change by understanding and dissecting what white people do and how white people behave. We understand that people that practice white supremacy are insane. We understand that. But what's even more important and what's even more empowering, and how you dissect and demolish that system, is by understanding how the system has impacted you on a personal level, and then taking the steps that you need to be able to change your own behavior. That's what it means when we talk about change begins within. You have to have you have to have the awareness to be able to understand how it's impacted you, how what have you internalized about racism, and how has that impacted how you feel about yourself. A lot of Black people, we all understand that we have got self-hate. We understand that. But the gap is, okay, well, what do we do about it? What do we do about self-hate? How does it show up in our lives? And that is what my work essentially is about. And I absolutely love what I do. I love the breakthroughs. I love the challenges. I love the insights. I absolutely adore seeing people grow. The relief that I see on people's faces when they understand, oh my God, yeah, that is me. I get that. And the other thing that I absolutely love as well about the work that I do is just seeing people connecting with each other, seeing them sitting in the, say if they come to the book club, if the ladies come to the book club, it's seeing the relief on their faces, knowing that they're not by themselves and that they don't have to do it alone, and that they don't have to feel ashamed of who they are, because there are other people that also feel the same, because they've internalized so much of this stuff, and that they don't have to feel like that anymore, and that there are things that they can do to change it. That there are things that they can do to change that behavior, and what the process of self-love looks like. I'm working through a course at the moment called, with some of my mentees, called Self-Love Rehab. And, we're talking about the importance of compassion and the importance of gentleness and the importance of, what it means to really love yourself, and the whole thing around, self-love being a cyclical experience in this. And what I mean when I say that is, oppression is something that we experience on a daily basis. So therefore, the healing process has to be something that we deal with on a daily basis. So you have to have your daily rituals in place, and then you have to have your specific wellness projects where you focus specifically on certain things that you want to work for. It could be traumas, it could be certain relationships, whatever it is, whether it's a work, showing up in the workplace or whatever it is. I walk my mentees through how to build the self-love from the inside so it can impact how you show up in the world on the outside. So and that's that. It's just been such an amazing experience to be able to do that. And then what I've got coming up over the next few months, I'm going to be opening a well-being mastermind where people have the opportunity to to kind of learn more about self-love, where they'll have opportunity to have access to a lot of my trainings. The self-love rehab course, which I've done, was kind of like a pilot course that I've taken people through. And that course, the self-love rehab, is actually going to be part of the mastermind that I'm going to be doing. So hopefully that's going to be, well, not hopefully, it will be open towards the end of the year. So people can get access to that, and they get access to all the trainings. And I'll keep building the movement, building the community, and I just love it. Building the sisterhood, I just love it. I absolutely love what I do, and I will continue to empower the community as I empower myself. I'll continue to share my journey as I share the journey with other people. So I'm super excited about doing this course. I'm super excited about continuing to serve the community, and just being being my best self, so that I can empower you to be your best self also, and not just as a human being, but also as a Black person, because I'm a firm believer that I can't empower you to be your best self unless I'm having those conversations about what it means to be a Black person as well. Because a lot of people that come to me and work with me, they talk about the fact that they've worked with other people, but they're not really having those honest conversations about the aspect of being, what it means to be a Black person. What does that actually mean? I can't work, they say to me that I couldn't work with this, and I've had that experience as well. I've stopped working with when I first started doing my business and stuff, I was working with a mentor, a Black mentor actually, who was actually telling me, or telling her audience, not to talk about racism. How can she be a Black person, or me as a Black person in business, specifically around well-being, and to watch another Black person tell her audience not to talk about racism was just one of the most painful things I've ever had to experience. But I understand now that she was doing that because she doesn't want to alienate her white audience. She had a mixed audience, and she didn't want to alienate her white audience. And that's her choice, to do that. That's not me shading her. That's her choice. But for me personally, I couldn't continue to work with her because she wasn't willing to have that conversation. She can't empower me as a Black woman in business in what I'm doing if she's not willing to have that if she's telling people that not to have that conversation. So I had to stop working with her. I had to stop working with her. So hi Joanna, thanks for joining. These conversations are important. So, and this is one of the reasons why people choose to work with me, because I'm one of the few mentors that's actually having that conversation. And Joanna's doing amazing work as well, people. For those of you that don't know about Joanna's work, she's a therapist as well. She's doing some amazing work in the community around trauma and stuff like that. So I'm a firm believer that, if you're in the wellness industry, you also need to be having conversations around the impact of racism, because, for us as Black people, we're getting targeted on a daily basis. We're getting targeted on a daily basis around this stuff. So we need tools. We need people, in positions of, that have these platforms. I have a platform, and I'm using my platform to have these honest conversations, because at the end of the day, we're not going to heal. We're not going to be able to get out of the rut that we're in around, dysfunctional relationships. The stuff that's going on in our families is dysfunctional. The stuff that's going on in the workplace is dysfunctional. We're not going to be able to heal and empower ourselves, even in business. I see a lot of Black businesses talking about, or a lot of us empower each other to have our own businesses, but you can't run a successful business if you don't understand how racism impacts the way that you show up in your business. Do you understand? If you don't understand how racism shows up in your life, and it is going to show up in your life in some respect because we live under the system of racism, how are you going to run a business? How are you going to run a business if you don't know how racism shows up? So this is the reason why I do what I do, and I am going to be talking a lot more. I've got some workshops and stuff coming up. I've had to postpone. I did have a workshop that I was going to talk about, how to deal with black customers specifically, but I've had to postpone that, and that's probably going to come out now during Black History Month, which is in October. But yeah, so these conversations are so important for us as black people, because I know a lot of you are afraid to have that conversation because it's painful. A lot of us are afraid to have these conversations because it's painful. But you know what? If we really want to grow, if we really want to empower ourselves, if we really want to empower our families, if we really, really, really want to be able to, crush white supremacy, and empower ourselves as people, and be able to love on each other, and to be able to build sisterhood, build businesses, all that stuff, we have to be willing to have the conversations. Not just about what white people are, or what white supremacy is doing, but how it impacts you as a person, how it impacts the way that you show up in your family. We've got to be willing to have those conversations. And I am so grateful and humbled and privileged that I have an opportunity to be able to guide the people that I serve through that process. It's just an absolute honor. So that's what I wanted to say. I just wanted to come on and share, the journey of just being able to go back to college and to continue this journey. And I'm just really happy about it. So thank you so much for allowing me to share this with you. If you've got any other questions about the work that I do, or maybe you want to get involved in some of the stuff that I've been talking about, you can go to heal.juneallen.net. That's heal.juneallen.net. That's heal, HEAL.juneallen.net. You'll find loads of resources there. There's information about, if you actually sign up, if you're interested in the business stuff, you can sign up for a list of my free Savvy Sister business tools. If you get onto that, if you sign up for that, you'll be obviously added to a waiting list, and you'll find out more information about the business stuff. If you want to come to Ghana, we're doing a Ghana retreat. I'm doing a Ghana retreat with my amazing business coach, Faith Agugu. She is going to, we're going to be doing a Facebook Live later on today, actually, hopefully, God willing, if the technical stuff is working. We're going to be doing a session with her this evening as well. So you'll be able to meet her. And we're going to be talking more about the Ghana retreat and stuff like that. So if you're interested in joining us for that, and there is 5% off the Ghana retreat until the 31st of August, which is tomorrow. So you can join us for that. Obviously, the link in the bio, the link at heal.juneallen.net, you'll get information about the Ghana retreat then as well. What else was I going to say? Oh, the last thing as well is I have the book club. The book club is actually going to be happening this Saturday. Not this Saturday, sorry. The 7th of September, which is next Saturday. And the topic for the September book club is the art of receiving love. The art of receiving love. So if you struggle to receive love, if you're one of these people that give to everybody else but find it really hard to receive, this session is for you. We're studying Bell Hooks' Sisters of the Yam, and Bell Hooks' Sisters of the Yam. It's an amazing book, Black Women in Self-Recovery. If you're interested in joining us for that, it's 5 minutes from Bond Street. All of the details are going to be at the link heal.juneallen.net. So what I'll do is in the comments, I will actually paste I'll put the link in there. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.